Welcome to week 24 of building my custom Venator. So this week on the Venator, we're taking a look at fixing the mistakes that were made last week, siding on the Venator, and putting in lights on the Venator. So let's get into this week's updates without further ado. So to start off this week on the Custom Venator series, we have worked on these berry lights right here, which did not work as well as I thought they were going to work. We tried out these lights from Brickworld Chicago called Brick Stuff, the very expensive brand, which I thought was a premium product, which I think it still is, but it's just not as good as I thought it was going to be. So as you can see, here is the light. It lights up very good. And then we also have this extra light that I got, which is cool white. These are the two kinds of colors I have. And I was starting to test it and put it underneath here, but then I discovered that it clearly does not work at all. And let's just turn off the lights and see how these look, because they said cool white would go through the transparency, which it does, but it doesn't really make it look blue. I mean, it does from some standpoints, but like, not really what I was going for. So I have to use the cool white light, which I also got, which is way more expensive, which is like $15 per two. Per two of these lights is $15, which is absolutely insane. So let's just put those underneath there and see how that looks. Now, as you can see, the cool white lights work a lot better, which is what I thought would be necessary for this. And you can barely see the green on the other side, which is amazing. But the problem is these lights don't attach to the ground. It just does not work. There needs to be a stud or space or something. So if you guys know what kind of lights I need to get to actually make this work, please comment down below. I'm begging you. I have no clue what I'm doing with this lighting kit, and I really could use some help. I've looked up tutorials on YouTube, but have not really found any of them effective for brick stuff lights. So for now, at least, I think it's time we say goodbye to the brick stuff lights and pack these away for another time when I'm actually ready to look more into lighting up the Venator, because right now we're in construction phase and I'd rather have this whole thing complete before we actually start lighting things up, just so that we don't rip any wires, because these are very fragile and I hate to rip such expensive wires and waste money on wires that I don't need to buy and things like that. So if you guys know anything about lighting, please DM me on my Instagram. It'll be linked down below. Now, continuing this week, we got this massive stack of base plates right here, and these are for the sides of the Venator. So now I can start to apply these bricks right here to the sides that I've been longing to do for such a long time, and now I can finally put them on and complete this part of the Venator, because these parts I've been waiting to come in for such a long time, and I'm super happy to have them so I can complete this part of the Venator. Now onto the most important thing of this Venator update, the clone barracks. Now for this room, I want to do something unique, since on the other side there is always room with storage for weapons and things, etc. But on this side, I really wanted to do something different, since there is no concept art for a barracks and a Venator. I'm not planning on having it look like it does in Camino. I'm going for more of the vibe where the traitor was caught in the Clone Wars. That's the kind of vibe for a barracks I'm looking for in this update. I'm not sure how many beds or rooms that this barracks will have, but I hope there is enough to accommodate at least 5 clones for sleeping, resting, and free time. In the process of building, I want to show off something that was kind of cool that this piece does. So this piece right here actually makes it so that I can have a brick right here next to that, instead of having a little tiny gap in between it, making it more of a smooth transitional gap, which looks super good in this scene. Now, people may be asking why not just use this piece right here that connects both of them together. Well, that's because I needed to get the proper height for this flat tiled surface that we have right here. Otherwise, it would not be level with the surface. So overall, this is looking super good. Let's continue building like this. Alright, it is now the next day, and I feel like I've made some great strides on this wall right here. Now, I did have to make some exceptions so that I can fit 2 of these right here, such as extending this side by just 1 brick, so that is a little bit more extended on that side compared to this side. But overall, I feel like that was worth it to fit an extra cabin right there. Now, there's going to be a total of 3 cabins on this wall. 1, 2, 3. Kind of like how you saw in the Ghost, and then some more on this wall. Except they're not going to be engraved into the ship. they're just going to be some simple bed stands like we see in this reference material right here. That is really what I'm going for with this room. Taking a look at this wall over here, this is the beginnings of a wall that I'm working on in this kind of color, and I'll be aligning it with one of these on the outside, such that the hallway matches the same thing on each side. I just wanted this room's interior to be dark bluish gray on this particular wall, so that is what we're doing there. Now, you may be curious what I'm working on over here. Well, I'm kind of working on making a clone helmet rack. I'm not sure if I'm going to actually do it since there's not a lot of space on this wall, and it's kind of complicated considering that there's a steel beam. Well, not steel beam, but it's a major truss that cannot be moved. That is right there. But it was just a thought I had while designing this room right here. But overall, I feel like we're making some great progress. We just have to tile these off, which I don't have the parts for right now, but we will hopefully in the next update. Now, the things I still have left to do with this is tiling these off, of course, as I said. Fill in this wall right here with some dark bluish gray bricks, which I have to find and put right there so that we have a little bit of a backdrop to that wall, because behind here are all dark bluish gray walls, which work very well with this wall right here that I just happen to be using for this. So it all worked out very well. So I'm super happy with that. But now it is time for me to complete these and make them look a little bit more furnished, and then we'll start working on this wall some more. So let's get into that right now. Alright, we have made some more progress on this room. We built up this wall, but not like the other wall on the other side, which looks super fancy. We have not made that insertion yet, whatever you want to call it. But you know what I'm talking about. We've not made it with the striped panels and everything like that. Brick built on the side. We just built up this wall right here, and I also put in these nice pieces that I'm not sure where they're even from, but I saw them on Bricklink and I thought they would look cool in the Venator, so I put those in for some detail. Probably will be moving those somewhere else, but yeah, that is what I did. Then I also completed this off, well, mostly. I still have to get those tiles in the mail. I'm still waiting on those orders to come in, and I gotta fill that hole because I decided that I'm not gonna put a helmet rack there. It's just not gonna work with this bedroom right here. Well, not bedroom, but this cabin right here. So I decided not to do that overall, but we made some great progress. Now, you may be curious what this berry box up here is for, and if you remember in a few updates ago, we actually made an automatic door right here. So this door is automatic along with this door right there and this door right here. So basically what this upper section is going to be used for is making these doors automatic, which I have yet to do anything about, but we built the roof for that little section right there, which it will be stored in, which will be super cool and fun to finish off. So we made a little platform for that as well, so now it is completely covered off and everything. So that is super cool, and something we'll probably work on next week is making a gearbox up there so that we can actually make these 3 doors automatic. Now, one last final thing we have right here are these 3 pillars. Now, these are going to be used for beds in the future that I have yet to design. I have an idea of what I want to do for it, but I have not yet started that. And with that said, that is going to wrap it up for this week on the Venator updates. Hopefully next week we'll be working on this top gearbox section, but that is going to wrap it up for this week on the Venator update. I'll see you all in the next one. Peace out and goodbye.